Sign number 1. They talk about money a lot. This may not be surprising at all, as the fake rich don't have the money people think they have in the first place. A person is most likely to talk about what dominates their thoughts. When a fake rich person is part of any conversation, he or she will most likely go on and on about what they have and own, and their latest purchase. Talking to a fake rich person can be very annoying. Comment below if you know what I mean. Their lives only revolve around the idea of money, as if that's all there is. Wealthy folks seldom talk about money. Most of the time, they're on the lookout for smarter people to learn from. Fake rich people are so quick to speak about their financial successes, even without you asking, and you can be sure they will throw everything at you. From how much their shoes cost, to what phone they're rolling with, to the car they drive, where they're living and the parties they go to, and so on, are just a few examples of what you may hear. Aside from talking about money, they generally cannot stop talking about the general price of things and how the economy is doing so bad. They will complain about how things have suddenly become expensive, yet when you watch them closely, they still spend frivolously. Part 2. Signs of the actual rich. Number 5. They only want to talk about what they're learning. As it's commonly known, in a bid for the rich to keep getting more productive, they're not always interested in small talk. They only want to talk about what they're currently learning, the ideas that come to them in the course of the work, their experiences and all. Most people think the rich only want to talk about the last yacht they bought or the company they just merged with. No, they seldom talk about that. Their conversations are mostly intellectual rather than practical. Issues that rarely have anything to do with money. They already have lots of it, so no need to be unnecessarily freaked out about it. In conclusion, some of the wealthiest people out there are the humblest people you can meet, as earlier mentioned. The fake rich just want to brag about their small achievements. But with the wealthy comes the actual realization that in the life we live in, there is more to it than lots of money, so they do not feel the need to flaunt it at the faces of anyone. When it comes to spotting the wealthiest person in the room, one very sure thing is that you're not likely to meet them in funky or glitzy gatherings. Focus on yourself and your skill. Develop yourself in the best way possible. Number 4. The rich don't care if you've heard of them. People seldom talk about this, but rich people do not live superhuman lives. They live just like ordinary people. Although far from being frugal, most rich people live modestly. The story was once told of an editor who met the superstar The Weeknd. On meeting him coming out of the elevator in a hotel, the editor was curious as to the meaning of the long chain he wore. The superstar calmly replied, "It means Weekend XO," and gently told him to Google it. In contrast, the editor was still confused, as he thought he mentioned that it was the weekend, while he was sure it was a Tuesday. This lends credence to the fact that many wealthy folks are exhausted by the attention they garner whenever they're out, and they try to avoid it as much as possible. They do not want you to fawn over them or ask for an autograph. They're okay with you respecting them and letting them have their way quickly without the unnecessary stares. Number 3. The rich only hang out with people who force them to level up. The rich don't make the conversation all about them, nor are they particular about taking the spotlight. Sure, you've heard of the expression, if you're the smartest in the room, then you're probably in the wrong room. Rich folks are all about seeking out those that are smarter than them, people they can learn from readily. Fake rich people, as mentioned earlier, are only concerned about making the spotlight all about themselves. Although this does not in any way mean the rich do not have cliques of their own, they're most likely to connect with people they can learn one or two things from. Number 2. They do not wear flashy clothes. Many think every rich person is all about the expensive clothes and accessories they own. No, the rich are actually very humble, and although they do own some expensive clothes for important occasions, you'll most likely find them wearing everyday wear. They're simple people, and who aren't trying to impress anyone. Even Mark Zuckerberg, the owner of Facebook, is known for his gray t-shirts. This sense of casual dressing shows that the rich are not particularly about setting new trends in fashion. But if you keenly observe the rich, there's always quality in what they choose to wear. Pay keen attention, look closely, and you'll notice the sophistication, the comfort, and proper fitting of their clothing. The flashy designer logos aren't evident, and they tend to wear darker colors. Number 1. The rich are not outgoing. When it comes to identifying the actual rich, one of the things you'll notice is that they're not outgoing in any way. They don't have anything to prove, so why should they be in our faces? Rich people don't want to be at the center of attention, and this makes them harder to notice. They're not overt in their behavior. A rich person would not seek you out in a room to talk to you. He's probably not that guy handing out his business card to everyone in the room. He's not the guy making the rounds, nor is he the loud-talking guy in the room. Rich people do not have a meet-and-greet agenda or a to-do list. They may be perceived as rude by virtue of this disposition, but wealthy folks are one of the humblest people you can meet, and you can be sure you will not see them trying to suit some schedule, and the rich will seek you out. Thank you guys so much for watching.